Right, this video is going to massively help in terms of past paper questions, going through those questions and then answers. This is for resource management, which is a unit many people struggle on paper 2. Have a look at this past paper question. It's a 3 marker. It's asking you, suggest how poor water supply may affect social well-being. Now, in terms of water supply, we know that's massively important for many people socially. So I will develop one point. My first point is poor water supply will obviously affect people socially, especially in LICs. I go in with saying that it's mainly more in LICs, where actually a lack of clean water will lead to more people kind of basically falling ill. Now, I'd go into it in terms of if people fall ill, the diseases related to water is obviously going to be cholera, and which could potentially cause death. Now, there's so many other things you can talk about how poor water supply or lack of water supply can affect people socially. My second point, I'm just going to quickly develop, not too long, because it's a 3 marker. It can also impact what people eat. For example, water is needed for cooking, and that could lead to hunger, malnutrition. I've really made sure that I explained it, linking it back to social well-being. Here's another question about how changing demand for food. So, for example, all the foods that we kind of enjoy having in our supermarkets, how has that affected the UK's carbon footprint? Now, the UK's demand for food has obviously increased in the UK, and some may even say that it's decreased. But if we think about the first point, we know that we enjoy lots of foods from different countries. Now, again, you could mention that the demand for exotic foods like mangoes, or even foods that are healthier like certain vegetables, have obviously increased. Now, once you say that, you need to make a link to the UK's carbon footprint. So I would say this has increased the food miles. Now, once you've said that, just go into it a little bit. This means more imported goods, meaning more goods coming in from, planes and stuff. They travel further. Now, if they travel further, that releases lots of CO2 into the atmosphere, and that increases the carbon footprint for the UK. Now, you can see in the question that actually it says, how has it affected the UK's carbon footprint? Now, you automatically may assume that you have to say the negative things. That seems negative, like, oh yeah, more food miles and therefore more CO2. But look at this positive argument, that actually the demand for local food, such as organic farms, have also increased. So that's a good thing, having more organic farms, because what you could argue is these farms provide food that is chemical free, and that's becoming more popular. Now, what's so good about that? That obviously reduces food miles. So you can say using local farms will reduce food miles because they travel much less, and they, some of them even deliver locally, and that lowers the carbon footprint.